Imagine a different world, a world where certain ships never sailed south. European ships filled with explorers did not reach Africa's shores to stay. This is a story of what might have been. Africa's own story would continue, unbroken by outside rule. It would grow from its own roots, strong and deep. The rhythm of life would follow ancient, evolving patterns. This path would be Africa's own, chosen by its people. It is a powerful thought to consider today. This alternate Africa breathes with a unique freedom. Its many peoples chart their own courses, their societies develop according to their own genius. There is no sudden stop to their progress. There is no forced change from distant lands. Instead, cultures blend and grow organically within the continent. Ideas travel, but they are shared, not imposed. Imagine the quiet confidence of such a place knowing its own worth deeply. Perhaps trade would still connect Africa to the world. Ships might arrive, but as equals. They would come for spices, for gold, for knowledge. They would leave with respect, not with power. African kingdoms would negotiate their own terms. Their scholars would share wisdom, not have it stolen. This exchange would enrich everyone involved. It would build bridges of understanding, not walls of division. The world would learn much from Africa's ancient ways. The continent's vast diversity would be its greatest strength. From the Sahara's edge to the southern coasts, life would flourish. Kingdoms would rise and adapt based on their own innovations. Communities would solve their problems with local wisdom. Languages would evolve, carrying rich histories within them. Art forms would tell stories of continuity. This Africa would be a tapestry woven with threads of its own making. Its future would be bright, lit from within. Long before any European ships, Africa was alive. It was alive with great empires and thriving cities. Think of Great Zimbabwe. Its stone walls rose high, a testament to skill. Think of the Mali Empire, rich in gold and learning. These were not simple places, they were complex societies. They had order and they had vision. Their people built remarkable civilizations. Their histories were already long and proud. These societies were well organized. They had vast trade networks. Camels crossed the Sahara Desert like ships on a sandy sea. They carried salt, gold, and precious goods. Cities like Timbuktu were famous centers of knowledge. Scholars gathered there to study books and stars. They wrote many new books themselves. They understood mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. Their wisdom was deep and respected across many lands. Culture blossomed in these pre-colonial lands. Artists created beautiful sculptures in wood and bronze. Musicians played intricate rhythms on drums and stringed instruments. Storytellers kept history alive with their powerful words. These traditions were passed down through generations. They celebrated life, community, and the spirits of the land. This cultural wealth was immense. It defined who people were. It gave them strength and identity. Governance was also diverse and sophisticated. Some regions had powerful kings and queens. Others were ruled by councils of elders. Different peoples had different ways of making decisions. These systems were designed for their own communities. They aimed for justice and harmony. This political landscape was dynamic. It was capable of change and growth. Africa was already governing itself effectively. It knew the art of leading its people. If Africa's path remained its own, how would people travel? Pre-colonial Africa already knew much about building boats. Along the Nile, strong vessels carried goods and people. On the Swahili coast, dhows sailed the Indian Ocean winds. Imagine these skills growing, becoming even more advanced. Perhaps great African ships would explore further. They might develop new ways to navigate the seas. Their sails might catch new winds. On land, travel could have transformed in unique ways. Africans were masters of understanding animals. Perhaps they would breed even faster or stronger animals for transport. New kinds of carts or chariots might appear. These would be designed perfectly for African terrains. Roads would connect communities built with local materials and knowledge. They might even develop smooth pathways through dense forests. These innovations would make movement easier. What about the skies? This is a land of open skies and keen observation. Perhaps African inventors inspired by birds would dream of flight. They might experiment with giant kites or gliders. They might learn to use hot air, seeing how smoke rises. These early flying machines would be born from African ingenuity. They would use local materials and traditional knowledge. The dream of flight could have taken a different path. The main goal would be connection within the continent. Imagine vast networks linking west to east, north to south. These routes would carry not just goods but ideas. They would foster unity among diverse peoples. Cultural exchange would blossom on an unprecedented scale. Travel would not be about conquest, it would be about understanding and shared progress. Africa would be more interconnected than ever before. This would be travel for Africa, by Africa. Even with the interruption of colonization, Africa's genius shines. We see it today in technology, in art, in music. Now imagine that genius had an unbroken thread. Imagine it amplified by centuries of uninterrupted development. The innovations would be astounding. They would be deeply rooted in African philosophies. They would respect the earth and its resources. This is a powerful vision for the future. Technology might look very different. Perhaps unique communication systems would have developed. These systems might use sound or light in ways we haven't explored. Sustainable energy solutions could be widespread. This knowledge would come from ancient understandings of plants. It would harness the power of the sun and wind. African science would offer unique solutions to global challenges. Its wisdom would be sought by all. The world's culture would be richer. African art forms would have evolved continuously. Their influence globally would be even more profound. Music, with its complex rhythms and melodies, would shape global sounds. African philosophies, emphasizing community and harmony with nature, would guide humanity. The stories, languages, and traditions would be vibrant. They would offer diverse perspectives on life. The world would listen closely to Africa's voice. So, we celebrate this unbroken spirit, the spirit of African genius. Though history took a different turn, the potential remains. This imagined past reminds us of inherent strength. It shows the creativity that lives within the continent. Africa's journey continues. Its people are forging new paths. They draw from a deep well of history and look to a future where their genius can fully blossom. The spirit of innovation is alive and well.